Hi everyone, let's get started. I will walk you through today's price action patterns using bar by bar analysis. We are looking at Bank Nifty futures using 1 minute candlestick chart, and this is an analysis for December the 18th, 2015. Okay. Before we get into the details of what all trades were possible, what type of day it was, where could you enter, stops and profit booking, I just want to mention few things, right? One, this dark blue line is a uh, yesterday's high level. Then we will be looking at both swing trades as well as scalp trades. For swings, we'll be looking at 10 points risk and target of 30 points and above. If it is a scalp, depending upon where we enter, right, it is going to be a risk of 7 points and the target of 15 to 20 points, depending upon the room that we have, right? So with that being said, we'll go through the bar by bar analysis, and what happened today is what we'll try to understand. Okay, so let's begin. Price opened, gapped down and try to go up. It got resisted at just the EMA, which is this yellow line, right? It did manage to close bullish, right? Open and low of the bar are same, and it closed midway. So possibly bears have an bulls have an upper hand, right? But why did it go here and fail? So that's a clue that is being dropped that we can utilize. It is not enough or sufficient information for us to take any action at this point of time. Had this bar been there after a gap up and above the EMA, I would have gone long at the close of this bar, right? Especially when it is beyond the range of yesterday. Like it is a gap above yesterday's high and it closes like this, then it is clearly a breakout that has happened and it is possibly sustaining that you want to bet on. What happened next? Bar 2, there's a bull attempt inside bar, but again tail on the top, right? So what is happening here is that now possibly these bears who applied the pressure here are again doing the same thing, right? Although the close is bullish, we are not taking any action because it is below EMA. If the bulls were so strong, why did the price gap down, right? What happened next is bar 3, it poked above. So bears are scaling in, or they are selling above bar high, right? And hence you see this tail on top again. Bar could not get past the high of this bar 2 high, so it closed just below that, right? So based on the clues that have been dropped, the price action that is happening as of now, the bears are scaling in, and uh, this is all this price action is contained within bar one's range. Trading range kind of a price action day could unfold. It's too early to say that, but that is what is a possibility that we'll consider, right? What do you see next? Bar 4, immediately bears sold the close of this bar, right? They scaled in here about this bar's high. They do not want the bulls to take control. So bearish order flow is overpowering the bullish order flow here. No tail on top, so there was no attempt by the bulls at all. And then if the bar closed decently with a minimal tail here at the low of the bar. So what is happening here is that one attempt failed, the second attempt is the third attempt, or you could call this as a one attempt. This bar 3 is second attempt, bar 4 bear bar, which means these bears are scaling in higher, right? So what do you think of this situation is now, where will the price go? Will the breakout succeed below bar 4 low or bar 3 low? Will there be buyers below bar below these bars, or there are going to be sellers above these bars? So looking at this picture, right, we clearly see that sellers are stronger, they are scaling above, right? So at least there's a room till the end of a low of this bar, and then there could be some failure uh, at this level, right? So that's why we initiate a short here, waiting on the failure that you see here. Bulls are giving up. You see a clear bear bar that you can initiate a short below this bar, right? Wherein you are betting on the bearish price action that you see here. Even though this bar is strong, you are looking at the overall context that has been built, that bears are scaling above bar highs, right? And that is where this bear bar tells you it's a strong signal bar. Had this not been a strong signal bar, I would have skipped this, right? So you take this trade, you have a room which is a swing trade room, right? At least 30 points. This is around 745 or so, and then it went down to 710, right? So at least 30 points were there for sure. So 10 points risk and 30 points target, initial target, and then you can look at the remaining position depending upon how it moves later on. But looking at this context with overlaps and tails, there is a possibility that breakout will fail. So entry bar triggered, and it covered the 30 points target in just 1 minute in the same bar that you entered on, right? So you get out there, a strong close below bar once low. So possibly you have a successful breakout, but it's too early to say that, right? Then you see follow through, decent one, bearish bar, but it has a big tail at the bottom, right? What do you see next? There are some bears who sold the close of this bar, betting on the breakout success and prices to go down. They will try to scale in higher, possibly, in case it happens, right? And then accordingly decide for the further price action. What happened instead is these bulls who gave a support here, they bought the close of this bar and pushed the prices up, right? What do you see? A failure, right? This breakout is failing. This bar is a bar without any tails on top and bottom. It's so strong. So these bears are disappointed. These bears are disappointed, right? What happened next? Gap up above this bar's high. So again, this is a price action that is basically against their short position. Whatever their belief was is getting negated. They're getting disappointed completely. They try to scale in higher above this bar, and then they basically got out because they were disappointed. Those who sold the close of this bar, they tried to scale in and then they got out. Bears got out because they were disappointed, and bulls knew this, that this failure is what troubled bears, and they are now betting on continuation. At least till moving average is what we can look at, because there's a big breakout bar that is there. Unless we are able to get past this one successfully, uh, the the move cannot continue, right? So that's why we're looking at scalp here, or you could go for a swing entry here if you want to use a larger or wide stop, right? So depends on your trade management skills. You could look at scalp here, which is again a room of 15 points or so, and then you basically get out on this bar. This is the bar where you got 15 points of scalp target, right? Entry triggered on this bar. You could clearly see that the price was failing in this zone. So this bar's high was a resistance that was being maintained, right? And this is the magnet that was pulling the prices back into this zone. What you see here is a bear bar failure to get past EMA. Another attempt by the bulls, but it is a very weak one. It broke out about this, but it failed. So some of the bulls have taken the profits and they have given up. Right? What do you see next? Strong bear bar. So those bears who held through all of this and scaled in here are happy that the prices are going down, and there's a gap down as well. What you see next is this bar has a tail. It got support at this particular level, exact same level, and then bulls bought the close of this bar and they're pushing the prices up. So the continuation that was there is not getting any further follow through. It's a weak one, And what you see next is important here, whether these bears are able to hold on to the price or not, right? So some bears who held through all of this are looking to give up because of this bar, strong close at the high. What you see here is a decent follow through, and then this bear bar pushing the prices down, closing on its low. But those who sold the close of this bar, waiting on the continuation down, or sold the close of this bar, they saw this bullish bar and they're disappointed, right? They don't want to see such bars. And then there's a hold up by the bulls. So definitely bears are not getting what they wanted. So they scaled in, and what you see here, tail end on the bottom. So some of the bears got out at break even or maybe some profit on their scale in entry, right? And what you see next, another bar with those who were selling below these bars are getting trapped, or the bears are getting out who entered in this particular zone, right? So bears are getting out and bulls know that. You can see this clearly that this particular bar tested this line here, which is where the close of this bar, or some bears had sold the close of this bar betting on the continuation, are also getting out. And so bears are getting out, bulls knew this, and that's why you see this up move or rally which broke out, right? Again, the context is a trading range day. Within that, there is a triangle that is there, 1 second, and we're looking at the third push here, or 1, 2, and 3 pushes down, right? So triangle pattern is there, and there's a long opportunity about this bar. Then there's a breakout, entry bar, continuation. You could get out at a scalp entry using on this long entry. I couldn't manage to get long in time, right? And then you see a failure here, which is the resistance in this zone 1, 2, and 3 attempts failing here. But what you see next, immediately bulls, there are bull buyers below these bars here who supported at the EMA, and this bar is a very strong close. Looking at this, there is a chance that the price will at least break out of this zone and test this area that you could bet on. Again, we did not have the 30 points room, so we go for 20 points of profit target. You enter on this bar and you meet your 20 points target in this bar. That is where you stop. There is further price action that you can look at and get into more trades, but it's up to you. I mean, clearly this failed at this level. So price failed to go below bar once low, price failed to go above bar once high. So trading range price action for sure. What's happening is that these bulls were betting on the continuation. They bought the close of this bar, they bought the close of this bar, and they saw this, right? They are, after seeing this, they're disappointed, those who bought in low, or they have given up a scalper long for 10 points. So bulls are getting out, so bears know it. Then whoever did not get out on this bar, they scaled in lower and they're going to give up for sure. They try to get in below these bars, but what you see next is this bear bar. This closes a bearish bar, and if it did not go above this bar, that means the continuation is not going to be there. It's failure. So you could short below this bar, and the continuation is what you get. So you could go for a swing stop, which is 10 points, and continue down all the way, or scalper the scalp was also possible. Okay, again, I don't know what exactly happened here because I did not was not watching the details, but this trade was possible right after 9:45 or so. So one swing, scalp, and there was this short that I had not mentioned here that was possible after 9:45. Right? Okay, that's it for today's analysis. I hope it helped. Thanks for watching.